Hey guys, welcome to the video. This is going to be a very difficult one to record because just the way I've got this set up, the screen turns off after a short amount of time. I really don't want to change it because I've kind of got the optimal settings for me. But yes, I am going to bring you the Apple Watch. Now, I definitely didn't think I would get one of these again. This is a rebuy. I owned one of these many years ago. I think about 2017, I think, this particular Apple Watch. This is the Apple Watch 3. They're now on the Apple Watch 6, so this is a few years old. However, just yesterday or the day before, Apple released the latest update, the brand new update that's on all of the latest watches. So there's that reason, Apple are currently still supporting this, and I think they will just for a little bit longer. I think it will get phased out fairly soon, but hey, it's still working as of now. When you buy this brand new, it does come with two straps. It comes with a long strap, which goes up to 200 millimeters, and it comes with a shorter strap. I think that goes to 170 millimeters. So again, just do the maths before if you're in the market for one of these. Why did I buy one? I'm a kind of traditional watch guy. I have an automatic here. I'm a massive fan of digital watches. I know this is digital, but this is in the fitness watch category. And all you need to do is you've got a button there. It's actually a scroll wheel. You can scroll up and down menus. I'll show you that right now, actually. You do have to enter a passcode when the watch is off your wrist. So let me just dive into the menus. So here, as you can see, I'm in the menu and I can just scroll. You can use one finger and you can scroll up and down. So you've got things like activity, alarms, app store, calculator, which is that's somewhat useful. I could see myself using the calculator. You've got your calendar, you've got your heart rate, you've even got email, messages. You can make a phone call from the watch. Now, this is actually a very, very, very handy feature, seriously. My phone was in another room. Someone gave me a call. It was charging. I couldn't have got there in time. Luckily, I had my watch on my wrist at the time as they called me, and I just hit the answer button, the green telephone answer button on the watch, and I could just speak to them like this. And even for somebody like me who is quite a traditionalist with watches, yes, I've owned many fitness watches, believe me, I've owned many. But that really is a fantastic feature. I can't really fault it too much. You can set up a modular display, so you can set up, so for example, let me show you. One of the displays I use is simply this. It's just got the time and nothing else. You can add other things, so you can have your current heartbeat, you can have your daily calendar, so it'll tell you the day of the month, 28th, 29th of March, it will tell you on the screen. You can have your weather for where you are locally, wherever you are in the world, it will deliver you your weather. So it is a smart watch. I mean, it's connected via Bluetooth, and if it can't connect via Bluetooth, it then connects via Wi-Fi. Swipe down from the top, that gives you your notifications. Can be quite useful if you pair this with, say, Ring doorbell or the Eufy security doorbell. If someone presses your doorbell, it will send a notification to your phone. It will then relay it over to your watch. And as soon as someone presses your doorbell, it will vibrate on your wrist. Quite cool. It really is quite cool. It doesn't have a sapphire glass. There are some models, I believe, with a sapphire glass. I think one of my friends has one. So, you will pay a premium for that, though. This is Apple, after all. Battery percentage. Oh, man. The menus, they really doesn't last long, and I'll come back to that. There is a reason for this. So, this menu here is quite useful. This one you can see, you can toggle Wi-Fi. You can see your battery percentage. You've got things like cinema mode, bedtime mode, aeroplane mode. You've got the little water drop here. This is 50-meter water resistant. All you do before you go into the shower, or for example outside, it's flooding down with rain, pouring down with rain, you can select the water droplet and you can't do anything really with the watch. And what will actually happen is when you are out of the rain, all you do is you twist that scroll wheel on the side, and it will actually, any water that's got caught up in these sort of sound holes here, it will emit a fairly loud beep and actually use that audio, the frequency will push out any water. Pretty genius design. I actually quite like this strap as well. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it comes with a 200mm large strap, and I think the other smaller strap is 170mm. It was far too small for me. It really wasn't good. It's a very simple design. It just simply, you've got a bit of metal on the end and it pops through and just holds in place. It really doesn't take much effort to undo it. So, if you do catch it on something, it probably would fall off. Something to be aware of. What else can I say? There's several different workouts you can do. For example, there's more than several, there's quite a lot actually. So when I go for a walk, when I do all of these different activities, I can spin the scroll wheel. You can use, again, one finger. You select your activity, and then, as you can see, it will emit this green glow as it's on your wrist, and it's going to measure your heartbeat, see how many calories you've burned in the day, all of that kind of thing. It can remind you to stand up once per day as well. You can jump between, your activities and so on. There's my activity bar. So red is calories, green is how much exercise you've had in the day, and then blue, again, is how many times you've stood up in the day. I have got a couple of friends who have Apple Watches, and we've shared our details, and it's not quite as bad as you think. It just shares your fitness tracking. So one of my friends she's trying to burn 500 calories a day. I'm trying to burn 760 calories a day. So we've got this competition going. I can see their calories, and you can. They can see mine, and I can see theirs. So it's kind of a good, healthy competition. No pun intended. Overall, I can really see the appeal. I can totally understand why people want to wear these watches. Again, I'm coming from a traditionalist. I like the Casios of the world. I like the Citizens, Seikos of the world. Now, where does this watch go wrong? I've just listed so many positives. You probably already know where I'm going to go with this, but it's the battery life, because I think the fit, this is the 38mm, sorry I didn't say, this is the 38mm, and I actually think that's the perfect size for my wrist. I really wouldn't want it any bigger. That's just perfect for me. Where is the problem? The problem is battery life. I am charging this once every single day, without fail. It just cannot go. And this is a brand new battery. The battery health is 100. This is fresh out of the box. I mean, quite literally. Here is the box. And I've been using this for about a week now, and maybe a bit more than a week actually, and every single day it needs a charge. Now, even from a fitness watch perspective, you look at rival companies, Fitbit, I've seen some of their watches go up to a week. Majority of them, 3-4 days, roundabouts 3-4 days. I used to have a Withings, who then were bought by Nokia, the Withings HR, I think that used to go for 30 days. I've had many, many fitness watches. There's probably many more I can list. But I got them a few years, and this was a few years ago. I am really I feel a bit down and out that Apple just haven't increased the batteries. And I know you might say, well, that might increase the size of the watch, but other companies seem to have done it. Why haven't Apple? It's just a real kicker, because I am actually I'm going to be honest, I'm quite enjoying this watch. And I know some people might be, gasp horror, oh my God, he's gone to the fitness watch world. And it's not necessarily the case, but I just can't believe how bad the battery is. And some of you might think, well, he's used to automatics that can go 5, 10, 15 years without a service. No, I'm just measuring this on its own merit. I'm not comparing this. Let's forget Fitbit, forget the rivals, forget Withings. 1 day charge is pretty poor. And this is something that makes me laugh. When you go on, you do a Google search, how can I make my Apple Watch? Hundreds of people have asked the same question, millions of people. How can I make my Apple Watch have a better battery life? And do you know the answer? The answer is to disable all the features. All of these different websites, Apple forums, Apple Mac fan clubs, everybody, computer technology sites, all of them say, turn off the background refresh, stop your email notifications, stop your text message, your WhatsApp, and you're just kind of sitting there thinking to yourself, well, that's the whole point I bought it, for fitness tracking, and so my notifications can come. So I've turned off. I've took their advice. I've turned off most of the applications now, and to be perfectly honest, if there is a battery saving, it's fairly negligible. I'll be able to maybe hopefully see a better battery life as the time goes on, but yeah, it's a kind of oxymoron. You buy the watch because you want X. The watch gives you a bit of X, but mostly Y. And no pun intended again, but you're asking yourself, why would you buy a watch and then disable all the features? And this is the current trade-off. This is the current situation I feel the fitness world, the fitness watches are in. One day, I think if they can guarantee, whatever you hammer the watch with, it's going to last you 7 days on a battery or 30 days on a battery. I mean, the customer base doesn't care, because at the end of the day, you can charge this up to 80% in about 1 hour. I think it's about 1 hour or thereabouts. Which is quite. I'll just give you a shot of this. I haven't got the dimensions to hand, but the Apple customer base, it's that loyal. They just don't care about any downfalls. Now, I'm just being honest. I like it. I actually like the watch. The only thing for me that kills it is, again, it's just that battery life. I have played about with turning off all the different settings, and at the moment, I only get notified on calls, on a text message, or a WhatsApp message. That's all. I've turned off emails, I've turned off, any other settings that were causing notifications. I've actually just turned off the sleep tracking. The sleep tracking leaves a bit to be desired anyway. It gives you the heart rate through the night. It's okay. It doesn't give you any suggestions, really. On the actual app on the iPhone, it does give you an option to, give you some advice. But that's kind of all. It doesn't really go into a great amount of detail. It doesn't tell you the REM, deep sleep and different sleep patterns. So it's a bit hit and miss. But, I mean, that's not a downside. The sleep is okay. It's acceptable. But, yeah, it's just the battery life. I think if Apple came out and they said, look, we've put a battery in here, you are going to hit 4-5 days, I think these things would sell even more than they already do. I read that I think 300 million of these have sold. 300 million. And I just think Apple are cheaping out, maybe, or maybe they are saving it. Because you know what Apple are like? If you've followed Apple for years, what they do is they release a product that's very good, but they leave themselves room. Every time they release something, they leave themselves room for more. If you look at the latest Mac Mini, you can configure it to have 16 gigabytes of memory. It would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me if in about another 1 or 2 years, when they're struggling for ideas on how to make it better, they just throw another 16 gig of memory and just say, hey, we've got this new Mac Mini, it's got 32 gig of memory, we've doubled it from the That's the kind of thing Apple do, and people go wild for it. It's a fantastic marketing strategy. So ultimately, yeah, if you're in the market for one of these, you can get them at relatively good prices now because they are a few years old and they're not going to be supported for much longer. The big question is, it's just whether you can handle the battery life. Do you mind charging this once every single day? If that isn't for you, oh, there we go, I've just got a message. See, as I'm recording this, I just got a message come through. You just get a ping, another message, and it's really quite useful because my phone is not with me right now, so it is useful. It definitely is useful. But whether I become a long-term user of this thing, it's up in the air. I think the battery life will annoy me too much to wear this regularly. So I guess we'll have to see. But anyway, there we go. This is turning into a really long-winded debate review. So I'm going to end this one now. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this is the last review on the channel, actually. I don't think there's going to be any more because I'm not purchasing any more watches. I've not had any more sent in to me. So I think this is it. But hey, I might do one final video blog just on the watch madness and how I feel now after, all of these years of watch collecting. So yeah, I guess I'll let you know soon. So just stay tuned for one last video blog, and that is it. That is the channel done. I had to get this one out of the way because I did promise it. So again, thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next video blog.